Hi, I hope everybody's doing well. Yesterday we had a special board meeting to continue our discussion on how we are going to be able to balance the $2.7 million deficit and also make decisions that allow us to be better tomorrow than we are today. The topic of yesterday's meeting, or the topics of yesterday's meeting, was the first opportunity for our governing board to take a look at the survey results regarding the 4-day work week, both the staff survey as well as the parent survey. Our governing board also talked about the boundary changes or the potential boundary changes should they be in a position to close one of our elementary schools. And they also spent some time talking about timelines and making sure that we're meeting the needs not only of our organization but our parents and our students regarding what next year will look like. So I'd like to take just a couple minutes and briefly touch on each one of those just so you can kind of get a sense of the conversation yesterday. Regarding the 4-day work week, we went through the process of surveying our employees and parents whether or not the 4-day work week was a benefit to the organization. As a reminder, the 4-day work week really carries with it two parts. One, it's a cost savings measure, and as I said, we have to close that gap on $2.7 million. But also, we have to be in a position organizationally where we're still able to attract and retain quality employees. As we've said a number of times on these videos, our pay and our benefits aren't commensurate to those of our neighboring districts, and so we oftentimes wind up having employees that come to us and like being with us, and we train them and they do great things, but they go someplace else because of the benefits they can get elsewhere. And so the 4-day work week is designed to not only save us money, but also designed to potentially be a benefit to employees that allows us to continue to attract and retain quality folks. So in the survey, we asked just general questions regarding those kind of specific topics. And the survey results are on our website, and I would encourage you to take a look at those because there's quite a bit of information that's there. But just briefly, as it relates to the employees, almost 80%, 79.4% of the employees that took the survey communicated to us that they believed it was a benefit to them as an employee if we were to have a 4-day work week. Now, typically in surveys, if you get a 30 or 40% return rate, you're feeling good about yourself. We had about a 96% return rate. So what that tells us is whether it was certified or classified, the vast majority of our employees believe that this is a benefit to them and that this would be a reason why they would look at our organization either to continue to work here or potentially to attract new applicants to our organization should we have the availability, should we have openings that we need to fill the positions. We gave that same survey to our parents, and understandably, that created a different concern, and that's a fair. You know, what do we do with our kids on the 5th day if there is no school? So we wanted to get a sense of what our parents felt. We had about 860 of our parents respond to the survey, and out of those respondents, 55.4%, I think, responded favorably as it relates to the question, are you supportive of a 4-day work week? So again, what that tells us is the majority of our parents that responded believe that the 4-day work week is a viable option should the governing board choose or continue to pursue the road of that decision. We also asked our parents too, did they believe that a 4-day work week would allow us as an organization to be more competitive in attracting and retaining employees, and 60% of the respondents said yes, they believed that it would. Obviously, that's good information both from the staff and from the parents. There's still obviously issues that we need to work out before our governing board were to make a decision one way or another about a 4-day work week. One of our governing board members indicated that they would like more information as it relates to, is there an option we can provide to parents on that 5th day if we have a 4-day work week that allowed parents to have a place for their children to go should we not have school. But it was also communicated that if we can figure out an option to that, it has to be cost neutral to the district, meaning whether we're able to find grants to pay for it or whether it's a fee based to parents, it can't cost the district revenue because part of the reason for the 4-day work week is a financial savings. The governing board was also interested in having a much better idea of how we would facilitate professional development. Typically and currently our professional development is done on early release days. And as you'll see in the proposed calendar of a 4-day work week, the only early release days we have are for parent-teacher conferences and then at the end of the semesters. And so there aren't any professional development times built in. And so the governing board's concerned, how are we going to still facilitate professional development, which I think is a very fair concern. So what we communicated to the governing board is we will look for solutions to that 5th day option that would be cost neutral to the district, as well as looking for avenues that would allow us to still facilitate professional development around the structure of not having early release days as we currently do. There was also discussion in the 4-day work week regarding time. One of the things I think it's important for people to do is to take a look at the proposed bell schedules, because I think there's a misunderstanding that a 4-day work week means that we're in school 3.5 hours longer than we currently are. In order to facilitate the 4-day work week and still capture the same instructional time that we currently have this year, it equates to, depending upon the grade level, about an hour longer each day. And the reason why it is an hour longer each day is because obviously we don't have the 5th day. But the reason why it maybe isn't more than that, or what maybe you perceived it to be, was because of our early releases we have this year. A lot of the time that we're in school this year is not instructional time, and it's professional development. And so if we remove that time out of our day, there is actually more instructional time that we capture in the calendar that allows us to do the work that we need to do by only extending the time of the day by an hour. I also have been asked questions, and I think they're fair. What impact will a 4-day work week have on student achievement? And I think that's a very fair question, because ultimately that's the goal, to improve student achievement. And as I've said before, the 4-day work week by itself won't help or hurt our student achievement. What helps or hurts our student achievement is the quality of folks that we have, is what we do with the time that we do have, whether it's a 4-day or a 5-day. It's the support that the home families give to school and the importance that families put on school. It's the urgency that students have to take advantage of the learning opportunity. Those are by far greater variables that impact student achievement. And so the 4-day work week in and of itself won't help or hurt the student achievement. It's what we do with the time. It's who we employ. It's the commitment and the dedication the families and the parents and the students have towards learning. The governing board is asked, as I said, to get some more information regarding the 4-day work week before they make a decision. So next Tuesday, which is February 24th at 6 o'clock, there's going to be another community meeting. This will be at the Performing Arts Center on the high school campus, in which we will present again the information to the governing board, and hopefully at that time be able to answer some of the questions they have, so they can be in a position, not that evening, but very shortly after that, to begin making some decisions one way or the other as it relates to the 4-day work week.